Alrighty, what's going on, interwebs? Let's just examine closely more our used head we got over here, right? We want to check this thing in a crisscross pattern. Make sure it's not warped. It's not warped in any way. Basically, crisscross pattern and like that, okay? You're basically going to take the service limit for this is 0.05, alright? We've got a feeler gauge here. Don't even see it over there. It's difficult to see. Alright, trust me, this is a 0.05 millimeter metric feeler gauge, alright? Basically, what you want to do is you want to slide this thing underneath over there, alright? And crisscross, right? If it's any bigger than that, then you know your head gasket will fail, alright? So there is a tolerance, there is a service limit for this, alright? You might never know. You might buy a used part and it's warped. So you basically want to do a crisscross pattern like that. Take your feeler gauge and see if it slides in over there, right? I also do this when I bought the used brake disc for my G125. I went to the guy's house, I bought the brake disc, I took some feeler gauges with me and made sure that, how do I say, that the brake disc wasn't warped. Try sliding in a few feeler gauges as the thing is up against the glass mirror. I wouldn't say the mirror, the window itself, and just check with the feeler gauge to make sure it's not warped, right? Now, okay, so but the next problem we have over here, the mating surface here for the gasket, right? This is the gasket. Of course, this is the used gasket. We will be purchasing new gaskets, but the problem with this is it's got a horrible ridge on here. That ridge is a good chance it'll cause a leak. What's going to happen is there's going to be air pocket here. It's likely won't have a problem here with the gasket here, like popping a gasket, losing compression, but it's likely to leak oil over here because once you tighten it down to 25 Newton meter in a crisscross pattern, you're likely to have an air bubble, air pocket over here, and it will likely leak. So what we got here, we got a file here, all right? I'm gonna lightly break that lip bridge there, all right? I'll take my file here. This is a very, very fine coarse file, this. I'm not worried about scratches as long as the mating surface is flat. I'll put the video on pause and show as we go along, okay? Alrighty, I've basically removed that ridge to my best ability, but I have seen it has been dropped, right? You cannot take the file and bevel it out because you're gonna warp and change the shape of that thing. So the best what I can do is just to leave that ridge, right? I don't suggest you're gonna put RT gas sealant on there because this thing gets extremely hot, right? Especially this section over here with the bloody mating surface here with the gasket, right? You see over there, it's got a ridge, right? So what I've done is I just basically have taken my little file over here and flatten it as much as possible. Now I'm gonna take some sandpaper, water sandpaper. I've got a 1200 grit over here, and I'm just lightly gonna remove this. I just want to get this mating surface as flat, as smooth as possible. I wouldn't say flat as possible, just as smooth as possible. We're not going to go overboard with this thing, alright? Because this is, of course, machined. The tolerance is very, very tight. Okay, I'm just going to rough it out a little bit here, alright, without interfering in the tolerances over here. Some of you might want to put this on a piece of glass, but I wouldn't do that, right? Because that piece of glass, it might look flat, but it's not flat, alright? That's how they did it in the old days, I guess. Like in backyard mechanics, they would do is with it, to flatten the head, they would take a piece of glass, put a piece of paper, like sandpaper down, and rub the bloody head on there, alright? But that glass is not flat. Maybe the head is flat, their brain cells is flat, but it's really, really not flat. Okay. So I just wanna get it smooth. I'm not trying to get it flat, I'm just trying to get that mating surface as smooth as possible without interfering in the tolerances for my new replacement gasket. Okay. Any little ridges and bumps. Because generally what people do is when they, how do I say, especially the spare shop that I borrow from, they don't really handle this stuff with care. It's all just chucked around on the shelf. Yeah. Okay. So we just basically made this mating surface as smooth as possible without interfering in tolerance. I don't recommend that you go take bloody 400 grit or 200 grit and go dig holes with this thing, right? All right. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Thank you.